Hi guys, welcome to FPL Pinnacle, the newest place to get your FPL content this upcoming season. It's official, FPL's back. The game dropped today, which means all of the player prices are out. In this video, we're going to look at some of the new player prices and possibly some of the price points to target.
Let's start with Arsenal. They had the best defensive record last season, which means, obviously, they've all had a price rise. Raya at 5.5 has increased by 0.5. Personally, I like to go for cheaper goalkeepers to get those save and bonus points. White, the highest scoring defender of the whole of last season, has gone up to 6.5. Gabriel and Saliba have both gone up to 6.
If you're going to go for Gabriel, best not hope Arteta has a meltdown again at the start. If Timber or Tomiyasu can nail down the vacant left-back spot, that might be a cheaper way into the defence. Tomiyasu's 5 million and Timber is 5.5. Now let's talk about some other defenders. Guardiola has increased 1 million to 6, but if he plays as forward as he did at the end of last season, he could be a very viable option despite the premium price. Both the Tottenham fullbacks, Porro and Udogie, have risen, as well as Gusto and Branthwaite. I think one of the most interesting price points in the whole game is the 4.5 million defender spot. Anderson and Gahey at Crystal Palace could be great options. Leif Davis could be a great punt at 4.5. He notched up 18 assists last season in the Championship. Everton were another strong contender in the defensive aspect of the game last season. Mykolenko and Patson could be a cheaper way into that at 4.5, as Branthwaite has risen to 5. Robinson for Fulham may also be a good option. Aït-Nouri was very forward-thinking, but Wolves have a very difficult start to the season. With the fullbacks at Tottenham rising in price, another way in could be with Van der Ven. He's only 4.5 million. They struggled defensively, but if you remember at the start of last season, they actually were really good. I've always been a fan of the Brentford fullback, Henry. We didn't really get to see what he could do last season because he was injured right at the beginning, but I think he could be one for the books. Konsa and Cash are 4.5 assets that could get you into the Villa defence. And there are 3 4.5 fullbacks for Newcastle, Burn, Livramento and Hall. Now I'd wait on this one for a bit to see which one nails down a spot. Now to the midfielders, and as I'm sure you're aware, we've got Cole Palmer at 10.5. He's the largest price increase in FPL history. He started the 2023-24 season at 5 million. Foden comes in for City at 9.5 and Saka at 10 million. Which one will you go for? Or do you think you can fit more than one? Gordon has seen a rise to 7.5 after his amazing season. Bowen has also risen to 7.5, as well as Son rising to 10. Salah has kept his 12.5 million price tag, which I think is completely justified given previous seasons. The fact he's also on penalties and they play Ipswich, Brentford, Nottingham Forest, Bournemouth and Wolves in the first 6 might have him as my number 1 pick for the season. Another interesting price point are the £6.5 million midfielders. There are some absolute gems at this price point and they could be absolutely amazing enablers. Let's start with Nkunku. He didn't have the best start to his Chelsea career due to injury, but if he could get back to the heights he had in Germany, he would be an amazing asset at 6.5. There's also Aston Villa's duo, Bailey and Diaby. Bailey had an exceptional end to the season and Diaby had a great start. Morgan Gibbs-White is also an option. With Bournemouth, Southampton, Wolves, Brighton, Fulham, Crystal Palace, Leicester and West Ham all in the first 10 game weeks. Given most of their attack goes through him, he could be a major one. Kudus is an absolute eye test pick, but he is absolutely lightning whenever I watch him play. I'd say Garnacho had his breakthrough season last year. He got a lot of minutes. Will he have those minutes again? The Wolves duo, Chan and Neto, are always good options as well. Although with Neto you do have to watch out because he's usually injured. Chan didn't seem like the same player when he came back from his injury at the end of last season either. Another option is Matoma at 6.5. although last season he didn't reach the same heights as he did the season before. McAllister and Szoboszlai are your Liverpool options, but are they as good FPL assets as they are players in real life? Another great one that I would like to see is Barnes at Newcastle. If he can hold down a spot and become a starter, he might be the pick of the 6.5s. Obviously, he was injured last season, but when he did play, he did show ability. Man City have 3 midfield assets at 6.5, Grealish, Doku and Bernardo. Now, if it was me, I'd go for Bernardo, but he is also one of the players that you have to own at specific times to make the most of him. Now let's move on to the forwards. And as we all know, Haaland is the most expensive player ever in FPL history, with a rise to 15 million. Will this price rise put enough managers off to make Haaland an actual differential? I'm not so sure. The highest scoring forward of last season, Ollie Watkins, has had a rise to 9 million after scoring 19 goals and getting 18 assists last season. He did massively outscore his XGI, but with West Ham, Leicester, Everton, Wolves and Ipswich in the first 6, he's got to be considered. Now to probably my favourite forward of the bunch, Alexander Isak, the Newcastle striker. He's had a rise to 8.5 million after his 21 goals in 27 starts last season. Newcastle have a relatively good start to the season fixture-wise, so a double up with him and Gordon could be on the cards. Solanke and Mateta have both had a rise to 7.5. For me, Mateta at 7.5 is too much. I can't see him doing the same as what he did last season, so that's a no from me. One season wonder probably, but didn't we all say that about Harry Kane? Now let's talk about some of the fallers. I personally like price drops. To me, it just means you can get a quality player for a little bit cheaper. I think the main one this year is Alexander-Arnold. He's gone down to 7 million. And given his history, he's a strong consideration for my first draft. With Liverpool's start to the season, I'm strongly considering a Liverpool double up with Salah and Trent. Rashford's seen a drop to 7 million after a really difficult season. Some of his minutes were taken up by Garnacho, but will he get them back? We all know what happened the last time Rashford got a huge drop in price. To me, when Kevin De Bruyne is fit, he is an absolute no-brainer, and he's the first name on my team sheet. So a reduction from 10.5 to 9.5 is really tempting. Probably one I'll monitor really closely to see if he's actually fit and ready for the start of the season, because as we know, he is the best player in the league when he's on form. And last but not least, Kieran Trippier. I would have liked to have seen a bigger reduction to 5.5 maybe to make him more viable. I don't think at 6 he will be going in many people's teams. He's another year older and he didn't have a great Euros, but do remember he was playing on the opposite side. For Newcastle, he will play in his preferred position at right back. So that's that. Some of the key player price updates. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. There's plenty more content on the way. Catch you in the next one.